Welcome back to another class on Chofetz Chaim and Mishlei. We are continuing from the previous class where we started speaking about how the Torah is the spiritual food for the soul. The only fuel that can fuel the soul is Torah. Any other substitute will only damage the soul and not help the soul. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and he says, do you know what you could compare the spiritual food for the soul to? You could compare it to bread. And he says like this, just like bread, which is a food for the body. You need to understand, food is important. A person has to eat in order to survive. Rabotai, a person must learn in order for his neshama to survive, in order for his soul to live. If you look into the verse, it says, come and eat of my bread. And drink of the wine that I have mixed. What is the pasuk teaching us? Listen to this. And like it is known from the rabbis of blessed memory, that bread, it hints to the laws of the Torah. And wine hints to the secrets of the Torah which are hidden in it. Just like wine is hidden in grapes. Comes the pasuk is not coming to tell you over here, come and eat of my bread and drink of my wine which I have mixed. Rather, the pasuk is telling you over here, come and learn the laws of the Torah and the secrets of the Torah. Rabotai, if you want to be able to fuel your neshama, there's only one way, and that is through Torah. No other substitute, Rabotai, is going to be able to do that. Nothing is going to be able to help you. You know, sometimes you have people, or better yet, parents. My son, he doesn't have a desire to learn Torah. My daughter, she doesn't have a desire to be modest. No, Rabotai, that's not right. They do have a desire. He has a desire. The boy has a desire for something else, which I don't want to even mention. She has a desire for being immodest. They do have desires. But they're thinking that by the boy doing whatever he's doing, and the girl doing whatever she's doing, they think that that's what's going to bring them real happiness. But that's not true, Rabotai. These things are only substitution because they're looking to what's going to make them happy. So I told the parent, I said, no, don't tell me they don't have desires. They have desires, but it's channeled the wrong way. Every single person has an ambition to grow, to work, to become better. The question is, where are you channeling that ambition? Are you going after the materialistic world, or are you going after the spiritual world? If you use that ambition, instead of using it for chas v'shalom, holding Rabotai, for all the garbage out there, if you start channeling it through Torah, meaning to Torah, you could become a big Talmid Chacham. If the girl, instead of channeling all her ambition and desire in being immodest, if she channels it towards the ways of Hashem, where she wants to become modest, where she will be modest, she'll be an example for the rest of the people, she can become a tzaddikas. She can become like Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel, like our mothers, Rabotai. It's not that we don't have the drive to grow. We have the drive. The problem is we don't understand that our neshama is what's saying, I want more and I want more. But we're going after the wrong things. And the neshama still says, I want more and I want more, because that's not going to make him happy. Substitute, Rabotai, will never make the neshama happy. When you start doing the right thing, you see the neshama comes down. You see you're happy. Rabotai, it is very important to understand. Just like nothing can substitute for food, nothing can substitute for Torah. Just like you need food in order to survive physically, you need food in order to survive spiritually. Today, Rabotai, how many people are in depression? What is the percentage of the people are in depression? People that are not happy. Look around you. Even the people that look happy are not happy. They'll have to make other things make them happy. Why? Because they don't have Torah. They don't have Torah in their lives. When you have Torah in your life, when you have mitzvot in your life, you're a different human being. You're doing what's right, so you really don't feel bad. There's no regrets. But when I'm doing something which is wrong, the reason why during the movie I might feel good, but away from the movie, once I finish watching it, I feel like garbage. Why am I feeling like garbage? For one reason only, Rabotai. Because that satisfaction cannot continue with you. Because you start thinking in your mind, why did I just waste 3 hours of my time? So now you have that guilt feeling, you have that regret. Or if a person goes to a place where he's not supposed to do, where he's not supposed to be, or if a person is going to do something that he's not supposed to do, you're always going to have that guilty feeling, guilty conscience. But let me ask you a question. What happens if a person went ahead and he davened Shemon Esrei for 10 minutes, for example, or learned Torah for 3 hours straight, or he did the mitzvah from the bottom of his heart, put on tefillin with such a cheshik, such a desire. Tell me, you think after he takes off his tefillin, he feels guilty that he put on the tefillin? Or you think he feels guilty that he learned 3 hours? No. Never, Rabotai. When it comes to Avodat Hashem, you never ever feel guilty in doing the Avodat Hashem. Why? Because you know that is the right thing. Your neshama tells you, subconsciously, the neshama tells you, you're good. What you're doing is beautiful. I'm happy. That's what Rabotai. Ask any man that puts on tefillin versus the day that he does not put on tefillin. He'll tell you on the day that he doesn't put on tefillin, he feels like garbage. On the day that he puts on tefillin, he feels good. Because that's Rabotai, that's what mitzvot do, that's what Torah does. It enlightens your soul, it fills up your neshama. Next time you decide not to learn Torah, ask yourself, are you willing to go on a fast that day? Are you willing not to eat food for that whole day? If the answer is no, so therefore do not also starve the neshama. Do not allow the neshama to go without the Torah. That's what the Shulchan Aruch paskins. You have to make yourself time in the morning. Fuel the neshama. Make yourself time in the night to learn Torah. Fuel your neshama. You always have to be constantly fueling your neshama with Torah in order to be able to survive spiritually. That's what the pasuk tells you, Rabotai. Come and eat of my bread. What does that mean, come and eat of my bread? Come and drink of my wine. What does that mean, come and drink of my wine? Come and learn Torah. Come and learn the secrets of the Torah. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and he says, now we could understand the pasuk. If you guys remember in the beginning when we started this whole chapter, when it says, Im tevakashenu kekesef v'chamatmonim techapasena, az tavin yirat Hashem v'dat elokim timtza. If you remember this whole verse that we've been dealing with for the past few classes, he says, now you could understand that pasuk. He says like this. Now he says, V'zeu ma shamar hakatuv. This is what the verse states. Im tavakashenu kekesef, etc. Hainu. What does that mean if you're going to seek it like silver and you're going to search treasures and you're going to search mitzvot like treasure? What does that mean? He says, Hainu, which means to say, Im ata mivin mahu inyan bakashat hakesef. If you're able to understand when it comes to money matters, everybody seeks to make money. Why do people need money? Why do people even work? That's in order to be able to attain food. Why do people need food? In order to make sure that the body lives on. Because without food, the body is going to weaken. It's going to weaken out of famine. And the days are going to be short, meaning the body is going to die. So therefore, in order for that not to happen, you work in order to eat, in order to be able to live in this world. He says that's what it means. That's what it means. If you're going to understand this whole concept of what does it mean by making money, to why do I make money? In order to be able to buy food. Why do you need food? In order to make the body live. Why do you want the body to live? In order for it not to die from famine, chas v'shalom. If you're able to understand that, az tavin yirat Hashem v'dat elokim timtza. Now you could understand the fear of God and the knowledge of God. How? V'retzeloman. He wants to say, what does that pasuk mean? Shigam ze kemoho mazon lenefesh. that so to this, Yirat Hashem and Torah is exactly like the food for the soul. Al Yidei Yirat Hashem, listen to this, through fear of heaven, V'limud HaTorah, and learning the Torah, Shelo tichle nafsho v'yamut mita netzchit, that your neshama should not perish and that you should not die an everlasting death. Chas v'chalila, chas v'shalom. Rabotai, listen to this very carefully. If you understand the reason why we need to make money, that's in order to put food on the table. Why do we need food? In order for us to survive in this world, in order for us to live and not to chas v'shalom die out of famine. Understand, if you don't want your neshama to perish forever and ever, you need to have in this world, in Olam Hazeh, Yirat Hashem v'limud HaTorah. You have to be God-fearing and you have to learn Torah. They both have to come together. Like we explained in the previous class, Torah without Yirat Shamayim, or Yirat Shamayim without Torah, one without the other will not work. You must have both. Now, why is this important? Why is this so important for us to know that our fuel for the soul is like the food for the body? Because you have to remember what we started in the previous class. When the Chofetz Chaim brought over here the verse where it says, "Ushmartem et chukotai ve'et mishpatai asher yaseh otam ha'adam v'hai bahem, dahainu b'chai alma," that a person should guard the laws and the person should do Hashem's mitzvot and he should live by them in the next world. How are you going to be able to live through these mitzvot in the next world? Through limud Torah and Yirat Hashem. Through learning Torah with having fear of God.